All right, it is time. This is Infinite Investment Game. I talk about alternative investments and collectibles, and hopefully, if you listen to this, you will become a better investor, collector, all of the above. And please just don't take this as financial advice, though. Um, but the big thing for this video is I'm going to be talking about Yu-Gi-Oh, specifically the booster boxes, the original ones, and the starter decks that I think is worth you buying for a collection. Or if you're thinking about investing, these probably have the best chance. I'm pretty sure Yu-Gi-Oh will be a big thing. It's one of the big three when it comes to card games for TCG. Even though it's third, unfortunately, because Yu-Gi-Oh wasn't advertised as much since probably GX came out. So to add to this is some of this stuff is I've already been buying, and I'll disclose that. But I am interested in looking at the booster boxes, and there are a few that are older that are more valuable. But I'm going to give you the prices and the dates that they sold. All right. So first, we're going to be looking at Legends of Blue Eyes White Dragon. This is the best booster box you can possibly buy. Don't worry. There are other ones that are cheaper. Obviously, you want to go at first edition, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Legend of Blue Eyes booster box first edition. Last sold for about $24,000, so $23,000. Yeah, $24,000 if you include the $113.69 shipping. Also, you have in May, for whatever reason, the Asian English sells for much less, probably because in the past, Asian English cards you couldn't use in a tournament. But I don't think anyone buying these cards are trying to use in a tournament, especially for the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Like a lot of those cards, most of those cards in the original booster box are either illegal, you can't use, or they won't really help you win major tournaments as much. So obviously, if you can't afford the original one, obviously, go and try to afford the Asian English or the European first edition or the Canadian first edition or French or German or something like that first edition. And then if not that, a limited edition. That's hard to find as well. And yeah, I don't have the price there that sold for Heritage, but there is one that sold for Heritage. I believe the Wavy was like 30,000 or something like that. Wavy is a different kind of first edition. I believe it was like a print mistake, to be honest with you. But if you're looking at first edition Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon cards, let's say graded, the Wavy is going to be the most valuable, and it's really the most rare. You also have, it says 2004, but I believe this came out in 2002, beginning in 2003. Metal Raiders. Well, obviously, Blue Eyes White Dragon, a lot of iconic cards. Blue Eyes White Dragon, the original art form. You have Red Eyes Black Dragon, stuff like that. And Metal Raiders, I believe you have like Gate Guardian. We're gonna have to do a checklist on this, but I believe it has like Summon Skull and a lot of other iconic, but not as many iconic as Blue Eyes White Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon. Oh yeah, Black Skull Dragon, I believe is in this one as well. And it sells around $4,900. I do think because things are going down, this will probably continue to decrease in price a little bit, but it's starting to get interesting to buy. And that's something I'm going after, the Metal Raiders. I'm not going to go after Blue Eyes White Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon, probably unless it's the Asian English. Be honest with you, $24,000 is a lot of money. I would probably put in stocks or real estate or something else, and make money and then sell it again. Oh, going the wrong way. Next, 2004, or not 2004, really 2002, 2003. We have Magic Ruler First Edition. $2,500, and then Pharaoh Servant. Whoever spent this much kind of paid a premium, but $3,000. So these are the first four sets, and I'm trying to go after the first, the second, third, and fourth. Magic Rulers, Pharaoh Servant. I can afford these at least. And then I may buy these in the future. Labyrinth of Nightmare first edition. These came out, I believe, 2004. Actually, these are actually the 2004 ones. For around 2000, that still is a bit much, to be honest with you. And then we have 1525. I think that should be a fair price for Labyrinth as well. For the Legacy of Darkness first edition. I remember these. I remember you looking at Yu-Gi-Oh books and original guides and seeing all the cards. So it's some nostalgia towards that. So I will like add these to my collection personally. And then Pharaoh, Veronic Guardian booster box. I remember this as a kid as well. $1,423.88. This one, someone from Canada sold it. And this is hard to find in general. It hasn't been any real sales in the last 3 months, 90 days. Yeah. But this is super expensive. I probably wouldn't be able to afford this, not anytime soon. In the future, probably, but not now. Yeah, first edition Dark Crisis. This is probably half the price now, maybe $1,000 now, but one of these hasn't sold in a while. I'll buy that. There's a nostalgic. You have the Exodian Necrosis, I believe, is in this one. And an Ancient Sanctuary. I remember this when Yu-Gi-Oh! GX was first coming on TV on Cartoon Network. I remember this booster box is really first coming out, I believe. At least in English. I don't remember when it came out in Japan, but $1,000. I think this is gonna go lower. There's a lot of these that exist. Ancient Sanctuary, and now we're getting to where they mass produce these to crazy. Next, Invasion of Chaos. I mean, it sold for $10,000, but that was kind of like during the boom. You're probably gonna find this probably for $5,000. Obviously, you have a few like Black Magician of Chaos. Obviously, is a iconic card in the set, and there's some other cards that are really nice. And then Solar the Duelist. You know, I probably would stop here. I probably wouldn't buy Solar the Duelist unless it's super cheap or I get in a bundle or something like that. And honestly, I'll probably rip this on camera or something before I like, it depends. But and then the last one is Rise of Destiny. I skipped over a few just because it was hard to find sales, but for $620, I think it's a bit high. This is actually a starter deck that I just recently bought for Yu-Gi-Oh! Around $2,000. I do think this is probably gonna get to like $1,500 or maybe $1,000, but this is the first ever starter deck that came out for Yu-Gi-Oh! And I personally bought. And I actually own this now. But I think this is a great pickup. I actually own this as well. First edition Kaiba starter deck. Very nostalgic. Blue Eyes White Dragon. 50 cards, I believe. I really, really like the set. And it's very nostalgic as well. So I'll own it for a while before I sell it. So maybe 10, 20 years, something like that. Next is Yu-Gi-Oh! Pegasus starter deck, first edition, sealed, around $200. So by this time, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has been very, 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 very popular. So they made a bunch of these, and you know, they sold out pretty quickly. I remember at one point when I was a kid, they were like $10. But it's a great set to buy. And then Joey starter deck. This is bigger just because, you know, you have, yeah, Pegasus has tunes, but they weren't really, the Relinquish was a big one. But I don't think it had Thousand Eyes Restrict, which is an issue because that's a valuable or interesting card. But it's really his best card in Pegasus deck was Relinquish. But this, you have Red Eyes Black Dragon. Not as good as Blue Eyes, but it's a very iconic card. It doesn't have Jinzo and stuff like that. It's still very iconic as Joey. He was around more later on than Pegasus was, and he kind of played a bigger role in a sense. He wasn't the most desirable guy, but you know, kind of had it was a favorite in a sense. But yeah, that's the stuff that I would be putting my money into. You can disagree, but yeah. And please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what other videos you want me to talk about, especially for Yu-Gi-Oh! Or any other TCG set. I'm getting to all this stuff. So yeah, thanks.